What's going on, TW fans? Thomas here, bringing you another episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. The new year is rapidly approaching. With that in mind, we just want to take a second to say thank you guys for tuning into this year's content and be ready for more content next year. We're excited to keep bringing it to you guys. We're excited that you guys keep tuning in. And with that new year, we wish you the best of luck on the water, whether you're trying to crack your new PB, whether you want to get into pouring your own plastics or making your own jigs, or you're a crazy person and you don't have a fishing related goal, whatever the case may be, we wish you the best of luck. With that being said, let's jump in. We got a ton of new product to talk about today. So I'm going to talk about a lot of these things kind of fast. If you want to learn any more about them, check them out on our website, tacklewarehouse.com, or in the links below. So don't forget that portion. First off, we're going to talk about some rods from Googan Squad and Catch Co. So we got a couple new series of rods. We have the green series and gold series. So first we'll kind of talk about what these rods share, what they have in common, and then we'll go over some of the individual features that sets these apart. So first and foremost, they have Catch Co's new Smart Catch system. So their goal with this is to kind of take the guesswork out of fishing, take the guesswork out of what technique you're going to use this rod for, or maybe what lures you're going to pair it with. So that Catch Smart system is right here on the blank. So you have 4 different categories: reaction, twitch, muscle, and finesse. Each rod is going to be different with how many bubbles are filled in, so it's just going to kind of give you a better idea of what the rod is going to be best used for. It's kind of a cool, unique feature. Let us know in the comments if you guys think that's a smart idea. If you guys have used it, it's not what you're looking for, but I think it's kind of neat. So that's kind of a fun one. Also, what they share is their new click to set reel seat. I really like that. So you can hear it as you're working this thing. It just gives you a really positive connection to your reel. And then also what I really like, not a big important issue for most anglers, but I really like this and find it important. They have the open style hook keeper on both of these rods. So if you're getting everything ready the night before, the morning of, say you've got a Texas rigged plastic on there, you don't have to back that plastic out or wait to rig it up on the water. You can just still slide that hook right underneath that open keeping system. So I just kind of like that. One of the features that I like in a rod. All right, so let's talk about what sets these things apart. So green series comes in at $100, nice budget-friendly rod. You have some ceramic guide inserts, so you're gonna get some nice quiet casting, and it's built on a 2430 composite carbon blank. So it's pretty lightweight. You're still gonna get some sensitivity and some strength out of that. Just a nice blank all around. Another one that sets this apart is up front here. You're gonna see it has this kind of a green that tapers into the black rod here. What that does is kind of show you where that rod flexes. It's supposed to flex right where that paint changes colors. Also painted on here, you have a measuring system. So I kind of talked about maybe your goal is to catch a personal best. If you want to do that by length, you can actually measure it on the blank of your rod. It's kind of a cool feature. This one here, the handles themselves, nice ergonomic lines. Both the rods share that, kind of a more aggressive cut in their handles, which I think is pretty comfortable. It feels good in the hand, but with the green series, it is going to be that composite cork EVA combination. So still nice, comfortable rod, pretty cool. And again, $100, so that's just a great value that you're going to get out of this rod. Now let's talk about the gold series. This one comes in at $150. So it's gonna be just a little bit more of a premium option. So rather than that 2430 ton, you're actually gonna get a composite 3040 ton carbon blank. So just a little bit lighter weight. So it actually is really lightweight. So it's gonna be a little bit lighter, a little bit more sensitive, and you're still gonna get a ton of strength in this one. They're going to step up the guides too. Now you're going to be getting some C guides, so a nice premium guide train on here. And instead of having that composite cork and the EVA foam, you're going to get a premium cork grip. So again, it still has that aggressive cuts to it. It really feels nice in the hand, but it's just going to be that premium cork. And the same, like I mentioned it before, that open keeper system. And then of course, their Smart Catch system. So you got a couple of rods to choose from. $100 for the green series, $150 for the gold series. Just a little bit more of a premium option, but both great rods. Now, if you're looking for some reels to pair them with, 13 Fishing's got us covered with a couple new additions to the Origin series. So we have the new R1 and the new F1. Again, I'm going to kind of hit it the same way. We'll talk about what these reels share and then what sets them apart. So both budget-friendly reels as well. The R1 comes in at $59. They both have kind of this fast back design, so it's nice, low profile, easily palmable, nice, really comfortable reel. They both have their arrowhead line guide, so it's just going to help let that line come off the spool a little bit smoother, a little bit faster. You're gonna get some longer casts out of it. And they both have their magnetic control system as well. So both really great reels, and I'll kind of talk about the individual parts about them here. So with this R1 series, you're gonna get a multi-material drag system that's gonna dish out 18 pounds of drag. So still plenty of power to turn that fish's head, get him back to the boat. You're not gonna lose him. But you can upgrade to the F1 series that I'll talk about in a little bit, and you're gonna get some increased drag. The bearing system on this one's gonna come with 5 nice bearings in it, so you're still gonna get a smooth operation. At 59 bucks, that's a hard deal to beat. Now with the F1, again, like I mentioned, that fastback design, it's still got all those features that they share, and these are also both 13 trick shop compatible. So if you want to swap out any colors, upgrade any parts, both of these are compatible with all the 13 trick shop components. With the F1 here, you're going to get a 6-disc carbon drag system that's going to dish out 20 pounds of drag. So if you're dealing with some grumpy fish in heavy cover, or you want to wake those things on the surface back to the boat, you might want to step up to the F1 series, get a little bit more strength, a little more power out of it. And the bearings on this one, you're going to get 2 additional bearings for 7, so a little bit smoother of an operation on it. But both really nice reels, and this one only comes in at $69. So it's just a great value that if you want to pair them up with those Googan rods, definitely no problem there. All right, let's jump into some gear that we're actually gonna fish with. I figured today we're gonna start with a blade bait since it is winter time and blade baits are wildly popular. So first up from Deps, we have the Deps Circuit Vibe blade bait. So this one's kind of cool, kind of unique. I mentioned blade baits are really, really popular this time of year. So if you wanna throw something a little bit different, something that the fish aren't seeing, this might be the one. Traditionally, blade baits are made out of sheet metal, something like that. This one's actually made out of circuit board material. Now Depp says that's gonna give us 3 kind of key benefits on this one. You're gonna get a tighter shimmy, more aggressive action. You're gonna get more responsive action out of it, and you're gonna get a higher pitched sound. So again, like I said, not everyone, a lot of anglers are throwing blade baits this time of year. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, this Deps one's a cool one to look at. So in addition to that circuit board body, up front here, you're gonna have some molded lead on there. That's gonna give it more of a natural fall through the water column. Of course, add some weight. You're gonna get some nice detailed mandibles, some gill rakers, and we got some 3D eyes as well. Now up top, they actually included a couple different rigging attachment points so you can adjust the wobble from super, super tight to a little bit of a wider wobble. So that's always nice. And then I think possibly my favorite part about this little blade bait are the hooks. So they actually included some Ryugi Teflon coated hooks. So super, super sharp and really fast penetration. Like I said, this is a popular wintertime bait. Bass have those harder mouths. Maybe bites aren't coming, as frequently as you want. So it's really important to catch every fish, capitalize on every bite you get. Those hooks are gonna do just that. And with this double hook design, they're gonna hang up less on the bottom. So if you're vertically fishing it, bouncing it off the bottom, they're gonna hang up less. But also they're pretty easy to swap out. Some of the blade baits on the market, they'll attach the treble hook directly to the bait. So if you're catching a ton of fish or you're bumping it into a ton of rocks, they may dull over time and they're more difficult to swap out. With these double hooks, you can thread them on, thread them off, really, really easy. So just kind of a nice feature on those. All right, let's talk about another kind of wintertime staple, big swim baits. Now maybe you're not throwing a bluegill big swim bait this time of year, maybe you are, but it's a cool big swim bait regardless that any swim bait enthusiast should take a look at. Now I actually left this one in the packaging, we're gonna take it out together, but mainly just because I really like this packaging. They did a really nice job with it, and we'll kind of go over everything that's included in the package, because I think that's a huge selling point on these. All right, so first, the bait itself. I mean, this thing is a premium, awesome swim bait. So a nice, really, really realistic bluegill profile on this thing. I mean, one of the most natural looking baits that I've seen in a while. So it's a hard bait, single joint body design, so you can get a nice wide S action to it. Now they did really want to stick natural, so they included some silicone padding on here. So it's gonna be really quiet as you're not gonna get that clacking sound. It's gonna be a nice silent approach to these fish. So hyper natural. They actually used a 3-level grain texturing design on this one too, just to kind of give the bait depth. So as you're looking at the scales, you kind of notice that there's 3 different levels of texturing, depth of texturing. So it's just gonna give a really nice, realistic profile. Again, like I said, hyper natural here with everything included and detailed nice. So you're gonna get tremendous action, tremendous good looks, and then you have this cool tail system on it. So it's attached, bait's hard, but the tail is soft and it's attached with their Bait Connect system. So you can swap this tail out. So say it's been ravaged by a bunch of fish and you just need to return it to its original performance, or you want to add a different color entirely, you can swap this thing out really quick, really easily. Got some premium treble hooks on there, so when you do catch that trophy bass, you're gonna get it back to the boat. So that's really nice. You're gonna be able to fish this thing in confidence. Now let's kind of keep going through the package. So I kind of hit on that tail before. You can swap these things out. What I think is really nice in these baits, especially some of the more more expensive swim baits, they do offer those additional tails. Well, you're gonna get 2 of them included in this packaging. So you're gonna get one, the original tail on there. So again, after this thing has been torn up by countless giant bass, you can just swap it out, get it right back to its original performance. And then they also have one on here with some chartreuse highlights in this packaging. So if you're looking for a little bit of pop of color, maybe you're dealing with some stained water, just kind of nice that they include 2 tails in this one and 2 different color tails. It doesn't stop there. Actually, attached to the foam as well is some tungsten suspend strips. So if you're looking to customize the bait, you know, how deep it's gonna, or how quickly it's gonna sink, how deep it's gonna sink, they actually include that in the packaging as well. So you're gonna be able to customize the bait. And if that's not enough, they also came out with Baitsanity's new Hatch Match Paddle Tail 3.0. So this one's available for sale separately, and you can actually swap out that flat tail with this paddle tail design. Again, using that Bait Connect system, super quick in a hurry, you can swap these things out. But now you're gonna give your bait an entirely different look and an entirely different action. So you're gonna get that thump from a paddle tail, but it's not gonna disrupt that wide S-gliding action at all. So, you know, after the fish have seen this bait enough and you wanna give them a different look, maybe you keep that school fired up, you can slap this paddle tail on there and it's just gonna give you a whole new bait. So really, really cool one from Baitsanity. All right, now let's switch gears and take a look at some terminal stuff. We got 4 new additions from Freedom Tackle. So we're gonna start with Freedom Tackle's Ned Jig Head. I figured we'd start with this one because it's a good wintertime technique as well, really ultra finesse. So when those fish are being kind of lethargic, tackling with that finesse Ned technique is a smart idea to do so. So this one, I like this Ned Head a lot. It has their no slide keeper system. So once you lock in that plastic, maybe you're using an Elastec plastic, something that's stretchy, once you lock it in over this no slide keeper system, it's not going anywhere. You don't need any messy glues or anything. You're gonna be able to handle fish after fish, catch after catch, and it's gonna keep trucking. Just below that no slide keeper system, we do have a nice durable painted head. So that paint job is designed to last, you know, it's not gonna chip, flake immediately, you know, it's gonna last for a long time. And then on the other underside, it is stamped with the weight itself. I always like when they include that feature, especially say, maybe your terminal box gets shaken around on some rough water and stuff bounces into different compartments, you're still able to easily and quickly identify the weight. There's no more guessing between the 1/8 and the 3/16 ounce weight. It's stamped right on there, you know right away. Armed with a sticky sharp Gamakatsu hook, all of the Freedom Tackle stuff that we're talking about today does have a Gamakatsu hook, so you know you have a premium hook on there. The Ned Head is a 2/0 finesse Gamakatsu hook, so just perfect for that. You know, I talked about it earlier, the bass's hard mouths in the winter, you need that quick penetration, or maybe you're just reel setting on them. You know, that premium hook is important. All right, let's talk about another one here. We have their Freedom Tackle Shaky Heads. So again, Gamakatsu hook, this time a 4/0. Have a nice molded keeper on here, and then that durable painted head as well. So designed to last longer without failing or chipping or flaking. And the weight is stamped right on the bottom, so no more guesswork there. So nice premium shaky head, perfect for this time of year, perfect for any time of year with a shaky head. All right, now let's talk about their new tube jig head, the Freedom Tackle tube jig head. They also call this one the whale, and you can kind of see it almost looks a little bit like a whale. Now that's not a mistake, they actually designed that one purposely with that. So it's a zinc alloy body, and it keeps most of the weight right under that eye, so it's gonna give your tube more of that natural horizontal fall. And the reverse side of this thing, the underside, is actually flat. So when this thing does come to rest on the bottom, you can kind of see it on the table here, it keeps the hooks oriented up. So you're just gonna hang up less, you're gonna snag less. It's keeping that point away from any of that bottom structure. So smart tube jig to add to your arsenal. And the last one I want to talk about is the Freedom Tackle Swim Bait Jig Head. So we got a 2-tone color system on this one. Again, super durable. It's going to last longer than some of the other paint jobs on the market. And they included some 3D eyes, which is a really nice touch. Gamakatsu hook on this one, just like all the other ones we talked about. And again, on this one, they have the no slide keeper system. So when you thread your swim bait on there, it is locked in place. It's not going anywhere. You're going to be able to get super aggressive fish to not be able to tear this thing off. It's just going to kind of maximize the life of your swim bait, which is important. All right, if you're looking for a swim bait to attach to that, we got a new one from Stanford Baits. We have the Stanford Baits Big Show Chaka Shad. So this is just a nice swim bait, you know, profile on there, nice natural bait fish profile. Gonna be great for, you know, this time of year if you want to slow roll it nice and deep, or really any time of year. So this one's got ribbing from nearly all the way to the head, all the way down to the tail here. So it's just gonna grab a little bit of water, displace a little bit more water, give a bass a little bit more natural feel. And then what you're gonna notice, of course, is this hinge tail design. So that's gonna give this tail a really, really lively action. You're gonna get nice thump, lively action. Even if you are slow rolling it out deep, you're still gonna get a nice wide kick. If you're burning it back to the boat, you're still gonna get a nice tremendous amount of kick out of it as well. Another thing I like about this one is the way they molded it. They molded a channel in the top half. So say maybe you don't want to burn this one over some grass lines or around sparse cover. You actually want to throw this one into some cover. You can rig this thing weedless, and that channel is just going to give your hook point a place to hide, a place to keep it, from snagging or grabbing any vegetation, wood, structure, anything like that. So just kind of a cool design with this one that's going to keep it super weedless if you want to throw it in some of those places. All right, now let's take a look at some new spinnerbaits. From Molix, we have the Molix Heritage Series FS spinnerbaits. Some of you guys may recognize that FS spinnerbait. That is a spinnerbait that we've had for some time now, but now they have the Heritage Series, which is gonna be new colorways on this one. So we have a couple different options. We have the double willow here, so maybe you're going through some clear water, sunny days, and then we also have the double Colorado. So we're dealing with some stained water, some low light conditions. You need a little bit of that thump so that the fish can feel the spinnerbait and locate your spinnerbait, not just off visual cues. We got that double Colorado option as well. Now what makes this or sets this Heritage Series apart, so the blades themselves, they actually are kind of spattered with some flake on there. So it's just going to give you more colorways to choose from, a little bit more flash, a little bit more visual attraction that the bass can key in on. These blades themselves are anchored still to a nice, strong, durable wire. So it is a finesse spinnerbait, but you're going to be able to tackle those big bass no problem. This thing isn't going to bend, break, or fail on you. Now, as we transition down to the head of this spinnerbait, you'll kind of notice it's a little bit different than others out there. It's got this wide head design. So yeah, that is kind of a unique visual feature, but it also plays an important role. It adds kind of a wobble action to this spinnerbait. So it's not gonna be your standard straight retrieve. You're actually gonna get a little bit of a wobble to it. So that's kind of nice, just a little bit of a unique, different look than the bass I've seen, a little bit more action. You have these elongated eyes on here, just a nice detail on them and some cool paint jobs. Behind the heads themselves, we have some premium live skirting material that's going to undulate and pulse through the water column, even in this cold water. So it's really nice to have those premium skirts on there. And then my favorite thing is they're hand tied on there. I love that. I know those skirts aren't going anywhere. They're going to be on there for the life of the spinnerbait, even if you get attacked by a bunch of big bass. The back sides of these are armed with OMTD, super sharp, reliable hooks. So again, you're going to get some really confident hook sets on these. Available in a ton of different colorways, so make sure you head over to the website to check these things out. All right, last product for today. We're gonna talk about a new one from Strike King. We have the Strike King Skippin' Buzz bait. So this is designed by arguably one of the best skipping anglers of all time, Andy Montgomery. So on this one, in the packaging, it actually comes threaded on with a rage toad. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to supply your own plastic. You got it right here. And in the packaging, they also include a rage swimmer. So if you're not looking for that toad profile, if you're trying to match a different hatch, go for a different look, you can thread on that rage swimmer. Under this toad, they do have an internal weight system, so you're still gonna get a nice, heavier buzzbait that you can cast a long ways, but you're not gonna get the exposed weight up here, which is also gonna aid in this thing's skippability, because this thing is designed to go to, get to those hard to reach fish, and I think this is a really smart design for that. Super durable, reinforced wire on this one, so you're not gonna have any failures on this one, especially if you're running it into docks, you're getting it caught on some cover. Hopefully you're tangling with some giant bass, it's not gonna bend, break, or fail on you. So if you're trying to get under some docks, under some overhanging branches, just get to those hard to reach places. This is a really smart buzzbait to add to the arsenal. Make sure to stock up on it now before buzzbait season inevitably comes back around. All right, guys, well, that's gonna wrap up this week's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. As always, thank you for tuning in. Happy New Year. We're excited to share a bunch more content with you in this next year. If you wanna learn more about these products or to shop for them, make sure to click shop or the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give us a like and subscribe if you wanna see more like it. Let us know in the comments below which one of these things you're most excited to use this year. Thanks, guys.